Hey friends, my name is Tyler. Long ago in the region around Lystra, there was a legend that people growing up in that area knew, and in some ways it was interwoven into their being through the stories of their childhood. And that legend was that long ago, the gods Zeus and Hermes had visited their region, and nobody recognized the presence of the gods, the presence of the divine in their midst. In fact, that legend goes that only two peasants who were older were the ones to recognize the gods in their midst. How that legend ends, and the warning of the tale for the people in Lystra, is that everyone died in that town, in that region, except for the two older peasants who recognized the divine in their midst. This is the context into which, the narratives into which the disciples Paul and Barnabas walk into when they enter into Lystra. They walk into this region. Paul preaches the good news that the kingdom of God is unfolding, that the gospel is a gospel that is bold, inclusive, and relevant to all persons, not just to those of Jewish faith. And in response, a man believes, a man who was not able to walk since birth, he believes that he can be healed. And so Paul, while giving this talk, notices the man, invites him to step into that reality, and that man stands and walks. And everyone in response from that area, to no real surprise, responds by believing that the disciples Paul and Barnabas, who are humans, are the gods, Zeus and Hermes in their midst. I think what's fascinating here is that the people have an eye towards looking for the divine in their midst. It's unfortunate that that lens comes from a place of fear. But in their looking for the divine in their midst, they recognize in this interaction between Paul and the crowd and Barnabas and this man who believes and is healed something divine. I think what that divine piece is that the man believes that this gospel, this kingdom of God, is applicable to him. That God is not distant from him, but that God cares about him. That he's included in it. That it's so bold that whether the healing actually happened or not, and I don't know if it really honestly matters, the man believes that this news can transform how he relates to all of reality. And the people recognized in this moment something divine, something that they did not want to miss out on. Later tomorrow, we're going to talk about exactly how Paul and Barnabas respond to what happens in these verses in the 14th chapter, verses 8 through 13. But for today, I guess a question for us to sit with, that I'm going to be sitting with at least, is do we believe in that divine, bold thing that the man believes in the story? That this gospel is applicable to myself, to me. That I don't need to add more things to a resume, or learn more things, or do things in order to be loved. but that right now, in my current moment, in my current state, I am loved. And from that space, I am invited into a life that cares more for other people, that is more whole and connected to God, and more connected to my neighbor. There's a lot to sit with today, but I hope you'll give this just a moment's time to reflect on today. I hope you're well, and I look forward to connecting with all of you this next week. Take care.